Alright, he's Mega here, and welcome to the install video for the EMXRon kit from Electro Company. Alright, so I'm gonna go install this guy. So I have a ERT BAC 4000. So this will pertain to people that have an ERT kit on their bike. Okay, but if you have the stock controller, you're gonna have to remove that. Alright, so I'm not gonna really go over that in too much detail. Alright, but for the first part is we got to install the brackets, okay? So in the kit, there's this bracket, and this bracket, okay? It looks like somebody made it in their garage type stuff, but looks pretty good. And they wrote up here, okay? So you want that facing up. All right, I've kind of figured out how it is. In the bag that has the block, alright, for the terminal block, for the phase wires, you get these 4 bolts, okay, and these 4 lock washers. So you don't have to put any kind of Loctite on them because they're lock washers. Okay, so you gotta make sure you guys got those. And then, so I had to, there's no instruction with the kit, so I have to actually look at the pictures on the website to see how they have it installed on the bike. So the way it works is this goes over there like so. Alright, you put the bolt in. I guess you could put it in either way you want. Okay, that goes like that. You would put the nut on the other side, obviously. And then, so this says up. It's supposed to go back here like this. Okay, this goes like that. And I guess it's slotted, so you have a little bit of adjustability there. Alright, this goes in here. Okay. This one says up. Oh, you know what? Oh boy, I don't know what direction it's supposed to go. I just realized that. Like, yeah, well, I could install this on the other side. Yeah, you could install it with the connector facing up or down. I'm not really sure. Let me go look at the one that's on the bike right now. We'll just copy that. Okay. I went and looked at the picture again on the one that's installed on the website, and see, there's this little kind of solid part where the heatsink is, right? And it's more towards one side of the controller, right? You want that one facing up, okay? You don't want it like this, all right? It's not like that, all right? It's how I had it right there, okay? Just like that, okay? Because I think you could install this on the other side, but you want it like this, all right? There's also these 2 dots right here, all right? They should be on the top of the controller, all right? That's how it's going to go on the bike. So you want this bigger bracket to be on the side with these 3 marks, okay? Alright, or else it'll be upside down. Okay, and then so this is up on the controller. Put this in. Make sure it says up. Man, the edges are sharp on this thing, man. Okay. Alright, you got it? And then you just put the nut behind it. Alright, I'll go tighten everything. But you get the picture, alright? Just tighten the nuts and the bolts all together, and then the brackets will just bolt right on. Okay, I got the brackets installed. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a pain in the ass to install. Yeah, I don't even know how this goes in here. So we might have to take this back out when we install on the bike. I'm not sure, man, but there it is. Okay, that's what it all looks like when it's done. I deliberately left these a little bit loose so we can adjust it. Okay, some room for adjustment. Okay, it's nice. This thing's got a nice heatsink on it. Big beefy heatsink, unlike the ASI one. All right, the ASI is just flat plate, you know. It's like I got a real heat sink, man. All right, so there we go. So the this guy is ready to go on the bike. All right, and then pretty much now we got to take the old controller out. All right, Hazemeg here, and so in the last video, I did some wiring to the bike. All right, it had nothing to really do with the EMXRon controller. All right, but I made a thicker headlight wires and turn signal wires because they keep on getting yanked out. All right, Hazemeg thinks if I put some thicker wires in, they won't break as much. Okay, so that was the deal with that last what happened last time. All right, so now I've also, like I mentioned, I also installed the sport mode EP mode switch. Okay, I've got a new light switch, and I connected both of the horn buttons. All right, both of these horn buttons are connected. So I don't even know if we're going to use the horn, because I think we gotta. I'm not really sure. It looks like this bracket mounts on the horn. All right, that's where that mounts. That's the horn. I've never really seen the controller mount it on the horn before, the horn bolt, but I think it connects right here where the bolt is for the horn. I think we can still use the horn, but we need to we'll need to unbolt it. So we'll go ahead and unbolt that. Now let's disconnect it for now too. Oh, there's two wires coming out of it. Okay, yeah, we'll unbolt that, and then and what we'll do first is we'll install the wires. All right, the harness. We'll install the harness and the phase wires. Okay, and that's these are the phase wires right here. Okay, and these are the harness right here. Okay, and then I'll see what we'll have to plug in next. All right, but we'll plug in these two here. All right, one of these is for the display and one of these is for the warp button. Okay, we'll plug in this guy. So that's the reason we had to take this wall off, the battery wall, so we can get access to these wires. All right, so there's this oh yeah, so before I actually do any plugging in, I'm gonna go add some dielectric grease, just a little bit to the connectors, so they have a good seal, and like so dirt and water won't get into where the connections are. Okay, I've got some dielectric grease here. All right, we're gonna go. I think I'm just gonna put it on the one on the Swan. It's nice and clean. Okay, so I'm just gonna spread some on the face here. Oh yeah, this one. I would put some on the outside here. Okay, don't put too much, because it'll start attracting dirt. Okay, put a little bit on the inside here. Okay, and then I'm going to start putting some on the ones on the bike. Okay, one of them is this big square one. I want it to go around the inside here. Okay, and then there's some on the top. Okay. Start to put this wall back in here a little bit. Okay, and then there's one more connector right here, the kind of more rectangular looking one. I should probably clean it first. There's a bunch of dirt on it. Okay, just around the edge here, because that's where the O-ring seals. Okay, it's got a little seal on it, and I'll dab a little bit on the top. Okay, don't put too much, and that'll keep the pins from getting wet and dirty and start corroding. Because it's like a lubricant is what it is. Okay, so yeah, don't worry, it's safe to touch this stuff. It's you know, they have like food grade silicone lubricants, right? So I wouldn't put this on in your food though. Okay. All Alright, so I'm going to go plug this in. Alright, here's the square one. It's already all lubed up. And just match the key. So there's a little key on the left there. Plug that into here. Okay. Then we've got the rectangular one. Plug the rectangular one in. Okay. Looks good. Alright, then the rest of these, I'm not really sure. I think we're just, this is still going to be on the outside, I think. So I'm going to pull these backwards like that. So you're going to want to shove all this stuff back up in here. Alright, push the main harness out towards the front. Okay, and then start putting the wall back in. You have to remember the wall uses these kind of squared off looking Allen dealies. Okay, so just a quick note before I start buttoning everything back up. Just make sure you get like all those wires, the mass of wires and stuff in there. There's plenty of room in there. Alright, but yeah, you want to get it up in there as much as possible, alright? Try to get it up in there. Okay, I think I got most of it tucked up in there. And remember, the ignition switch has to go back in there too, so that there can't be too much stuff hanging around this area right here on the top, okay? Try to get it to really get it up in there. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. The connectors are really big too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this bolt back in, and then the one down here. When you're trying to put these ones in the frame back in, just kind of look down there in the hole and let's see if the holes line up. Okay, kind of like that. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the ignition back in. The USB charger, this guy right here. Okay. First I want to hook up the wires. Got this guy here. Connect these guys back in. So I remember I marked the one that's positive, so I know which one it is. Yeah, this one. Okay. I marked it with a silver pen. And I'm looking for the positive right here. It's this one right here. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got the ignition switch back in, and it looks sort of neat. I'll have to fix this kind of bird nest of wires later, but I think that'll be okay for now. Okay, so what I've done so far is I put the wall back in. I've shoved the wires back up in there. I've got the harness. All right, this is the main harness wire for the controller. All right, and then I've got the two connectors right here for the what's it called, the display and the warp button. Okay. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot more wires. So. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so the next thing we're going to do is probably connect the phase wires, okay? These guys right here. I want to make sure this mass of wires is behind here. Okay, this is the throttle wire. That's my throttle wire. I don't know where your guys's will be, but and that's going to be going behind the controller, like right around here. Okay. All right. All we're missing is the controller. So what I've decided to do is, instead of using this doohickey, all right, we're going to use some shrink tubing and 3 of these bolts to extend the phase wires. Okay. And I'm not 100% sure if we could use this thing here, okay, the cover. So we'll thing it. And I think we got to take the lower brackets out. Okay, the lower brackets got to be put on first. So I'm going to have to take this back out. Okay, but first let's go install these phase wires. Is the heat shrink tubing I'll be using. All right, I'm going to coat. I don't know which one. Just it doesn't matter which end you put in, man. I'm going to coat this. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to coat it with anything. Okay, I'm going to connect the blue phase wire. I've got the shrink tubing right here. Let's put it over here for now. Yeah, so you're going to want to put the shrink tubing. Doesn't really matter, okay, because we can put the shrink tubing on later, actually. So, because the good thing is the controller is not connected right now. So I'm going to put it like opposites like that so it's more straight. So I'm going to connect this first, and then I'm going to slather a little bit of dielectric grease over everything. Okay. Pretty simple. Okay, yeah, there. It fits, barely. Okay, so before I put the shrink tubing on, we're going to put some dielectric grease, just a light coat around all, the bolt and everything. I didn't do it before because you don't want, this is like an insulator, it doesn't conduct electricity. You want the parts that are touching, to not have too much of this stuff on there, all right? But put some of this in around here, Put a little bit on the wire. It'll help guide that stuff in better. Okay. Okay, got my heat gun right here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take these brackets out because I don't think you can install it. Let me take these out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and install these. So on the brackets, they're labeled up, alright, so you want those to be up, alright, so this one will be on the right side and the other one will be on the left side. Alright, and just use the bolts that you had before, alright. Okay, so I think this controller uses the the bolt for the horn. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Oh, Jesus, this freaking fender. I'm gonna take the bolt out. Let's go into the. Wait, there's some holes in the fender. I might be able to. Yeah, there we go. Oh, barely. Okay, I would like to retain my horn though, so. Okay, I was right, guys. See, there's a bolt in there, and there's a nut in there. All right, and when I'm trying to take that bolt off, it just wants to spin. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that. I know it's hard to see. It's in there. Okay, see it? Yeah, it's down in there. Okay, I think it's a 10 millimeter. It's in there, as you can see. Spin it. The bolt moves. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take that out. Okay, got the bolt out. Now we'll see if we can put the controller in. Okay, so I think before we put the controller in, let's put the phase wires in. So it looks like all the wires are going to come in from the left. Okay, so according to the cover here, all right, I don't know, it says there's a manual. I didn't get any kind of manual with this controller, man. The terminal should be torqued to 9 plus minus 2 Newton meters, all right? So it could be anywhere from 7 to 11. I'm gonna go with 9, okay? I've got my torque wrench right here. I set it for 9 already. Oh, sorry, I didn't get it on video, man, but I torqued them down. I torqued it to 9, and I was like, you know what? I think 9 is too much, so I made it 8. So just hold the wire and then torque it. Okay, and I did that 3 times. And now I still got to do the 2 positive and a negative wire. Okay. Reds on the ball. How are you supposed to do this? The wires are it's not big enough. Yeah, the black is here and the red is down here. This is not long enough. You're gonna have to, yeah, we're gonna have to like take this wire apart. Hold on. Alright, I'm just gonna let it hang there. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to undo this this power wire, okay? Because that's just not gonna fit, man. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut the zip ties to it. Yeah, we're gonna have to open the harness up. It's kind of annoying. Because look at the distance. Look at this distance here, man. The positive is here and the negative is there. What the freak? Power connector is out, and then now what we're gonna have to do is open this up so it'll fit. I gotta undo this. Kind of don't want to do that, but okay, sorry guys, I didn't hit the play button. All right, so we're gonna go install this plastic cover. Since it's all nice and out in the open right now, we can do that. All right, and everything's all in there and torqued nicely, right? Boy, I go in. Okay, screws back in. Just teeny tiny little plastic screws that I had to acquire myself, you know, are not provided with the kit. I'll put it in there because I like this cover, it looks nice. It also acts as like a connector, sort of, so it alleviates the pressure on the wires. Okay, and then now gotta get it up in there somehow. Oh boy, this is so tight, dude. Okay, the horn is in the way. Maybe we might have to just take the horn out. After I fix the horn switch, I kind of don't want to do that. I would like to have a horn. Okay, I gotta try to get it on the other side now. Yeah, I think this brake, I think you gotta take the brake, this brake bracket, right, the bracket for the line, you gotta take that out. It's not wanting to thing. I'm gonna have to. Okay, yeah, you know what? I hate to say it. I think I'm gonna take my fender off. Okay, I'm gonna take my fender off. That it's just in the way, you know. So off it goes for now. Okay. Okay, let's take the fender off for now. I don't even know if it's gonna fit on there with the controller yet, but yeah, man, it's like in the way. Oh yeah, we gotta connect the wire first. I almost forgot. Yeah, we're ready to install it. And okay, so let's go install this connector here first. What Hayes is gonna do is I'm gonna put some dielectric grease around the seal here. All right, see, there's a rubber seal right around here. I think I gotta take this brake. Let me take this brake thing off first. Man, it's just scratching the shit out of my fork. Okay, there we go. Yeah, if there's nothing there, you can slide the controllers into the bracket. All right, I think I bent the bracket or something because it's not. Shit. You know what? I think we need to put the. We need to connect the. Let's connect these wires already, so I don't have to worry about them. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, so here's what's going on, guys. There's not a lot of room back there. All right, this is a massive controller. It is freaking huge. Okay, and the problem is the harness wire. All right, is hitting the tilt sensor. All right, so I'm going to take that tilt sensor out. I think it's just these two bolts right here. All right, I don't really use it anyway. So, okay, there's that tilt sensor. Yeah, it's got like a pink wire to it. There's a white connector right here on the bottom. See that? I gotta try to disconnect that somehow. Okay. Okay, fish the connector out of the hole, and that's it right there. It's like a 3-pin connector. All right, it's free. If you ever wondered what your tilt sensor looks like, there it is. All right. Yeah, it kind of takes up too much space back there, so I gotta take that out. All right. I don't know if we gotta take it out or not. I will ask Austin about that later. But okay, but so the wires up in here. Just seeing if I can just push it up in there. Okay, and then hopefully this thing will install. Okay, this thing is nicer. Such a pain in the booty, but yeah, definitely taking the tilt sensor helped. There's like a lot of space back there to work with now. So, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disconnect it. Let's see. Just let it hang there first. Okay, so make sure there's no wires caught in here. All right, and I think this is gonna go. This is actually got to go forward, man, instead of down. It's gonna have to arch the other way, I guess. And I don't like that. Okay, so yeah, man, this bracket is nice. It like tucks up in there nicely, all right. And I've got one part of the controller behind the bracket. I don't know if I bent it or not, but I have to bend it back. It's still not wanting to go in, man. Is it the horn? Is the horn getting it? Okay, I got a washer and a locking washer, all right, split lock washer. We're gonna use that to get that right up in there. The question is, how the hell are we supposed to put this in there if the nut's gotta be in there? I think the nut should be on the other side. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm gonna do it backwards, guys. Dude, there's like no room. I don't like this, guys. I like the way the ASI
yeah, I'm gonna
controller's
put that bolt
on.
in there. Right? I'm gonna get it in there somehow, right? The nut is right here. Oh, it's a locking nut, so you don't have to worry about coming off. But
Okay, here's my plan.
We're gonna install it backwards, all right? Instead of putting the bolt up there, we're gonna put the bolt on the bottom, because it'll be easier to stick an Allen wrench through there than a freaking wrench. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get it in that. There's a hole in there somewhere. Okay. Yeah, in the abyss. There we go. I got it in there. All right, it's in position. All right, now all we have to do is put the nut in. All right, so now there's a bolt sticking out the other end. All right, I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I don't know. I know. What if it shouldn't be sticking out that much, but it's the easiest way we can get it in there. Okay. All right. Well, we'll try to put the horn button. Okay, it's kind of up in there. I've put the nut back on, and then I'm trying to get it in there. The brackets don't line up very well, guys. I don't know. I've already bolted them in. That's weird. One of them goes through a whole lot, man. Maybe I need to put a washer on it. Should I do that? Yeah, why does this one go so much longer than the other ones? Yeah, let me go add a washer. I don't want that to damage the battery, you know. It probably already is. Let me take a look at my battery. Is there any scratches on the front? No. Oh yeah, right here. There's some scratches right here. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go add a washer to that so it doesn't stick out so much. Okay, guys, man, it is in there tight. Oh, this is like precision fit, I guess. Almost precision. If it was really precision fit, it would go in nicely. But so now I'm having a problem here. The nut is back here and the bolt is up here. All right, so I can't get this out. All right. So I think I have to get a smaller wrench. Okay, I'll see if I can find a smaller, like a teeny tiny little wrench to get in there. But it's just the head is just too big. Once it gets in there, it doesn't want to get out. So I'm trying to. Oh my God! There we go. I got it in there. All right, this one is not super duper tight. All right, but I kind of shoehorn the wrench in there, not all the way, and I tighten it, and then I just thinged it, you know. So yeah, man. I'm pretty sure the brackets are like bending somewhere. It's not like a perfect fit. Okay, yeah, let's hope these brackets are really strong and you know, they don't crack or anything. But it's aluminum. I have faith in it. Okay, so now's the moment of truth. Will my fender fit with this thing? All right, let's see. Let's go put my fender back on. All right, this is the Warp 9 type of fender. All right, I'm using the Warp 9 bolt. And oh, it just barely clears, guys. Damn, yeah, it just barely clears. Wow, what a precision fit. It's rubbing on the heatsink, but not a whole lot. Okay, you know what? I'm fine with it rubbing like that. It'll stop rubbing at some point, right? But yeah. I mean, one thing we could do is, I don't know, maybe grind this a little bit. Grind this a little bit. Maybe it'll grind it eventually. But yeah, dude, that is a tight fit. But it fit with the DRZ fender. Look at that. Holy moly. It's touching it, but just barely. Just barely. Okay, you know what? I might just let it touch. That's fine. All right, man, holy moly. That is a tight fit. I was kind of hesitant whether it's going to fit or not, all right? Because with the other controller, it fit pretty damn well, all right? So, but there it is. It's in there, guys, okay? There's a huge opening down here now. I kind of don't like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go put this the brake line bracket back in. Oh, where did the bolt go? Oh, I lost the bolt. Okay. I'm gonna go put that back. Okay. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to figure out where we're gonna put this the warp drive switch. Yeah, warp factor 9, baby. That's the highest. That's one of the fastest warp factors, right? Yeah, he's making a Star Trek nerd. So it's gonna come off the side here. I know. I'd rather have it come off the other side. We could do that, but I'd have to take the controller off again. Hazeomega has all his wires going off the left. All right, so I'm just gonna. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can shoehorn it through here. I think we can. Yeah, there we go. Okay, got it. And then I'm gonna go mount it on the right side of the handlebar here because my left is full. Okay. Right. So my EP and sport mode switch will be here, but the warp drive switch will be here. Okay. Okay, so I've chosen to put the warp drive switch right here, all right, as close as possible to the brake levers, so I don't have to thing it too much, you know. My thumb is long enough to activate. I don't like this switch, guys. I wish it was like right here. I don't know, man. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so down will be off and on will be up. I could also flip it around. You can install it on the top here, on the bottom. I feel on the bottom would be better. Okay, it really doesn't clear. It doesn't really go as far as where the throttle tube wire comes out. Okay, and you can also tuck the wire behind the bracket here. Okay, I don't know if that's a good idea. Well, yeah, if I can bend this a little bit, I can get that to stick in there, and it'll be nice in there. Okay. All right. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the ignition switch back on. Finally. Okay, guys. I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close to firing it up. All right, guys. So we'll fire it up, and then I'll tidy everything up later. But so I've got the brake. So the brake line, I'm kind of worried about. This aluminum stuff is sharp, guys. It is really sharp, and I'm afraid if this rubs on here enough, it's gonna rub the wires and the hoses raw. So I don't want it to touch any of this stuff. All right, so we're gonna have to find a way to keep the wires away from this stuff. All right, because if it rubs on that, it's gonna rub a hole in it. This is the throttle wire right here. So I got the throttle wire. This is the display wire. Okay, and then inside here is the warp. Somewhere in here is the warp drive button. Okay, right there. What's nice is you can use this little, looks like a skid plate is what it looks like. You could use this to hold the wires. Whether that's okay or not, I think it's okay. Yeah, it looks like it'll be fine. But then yeah, we have to make sure none of these wires are getting pulled. The only one that looks like it's moving when I turn the handlebars is this freaking throttle wire. So what we could do is, I don't know, just stick it in here. We'll figure something out. What I could do is, yeah, you know what I could do? We can drill a hole right here. Let's drill a hole here, and then let's install a clamp. All right, a wire clamp. We'll install one of these guys there, okay? And it has the little rubber on it, so it can slide nicely. Yeah, because if you remember correctly, the old bracket had something attached here, right? It was the thing for the cowl, all right? So the cowl is gone, all right? The cowl is not there anymore. So there's a big gaping hole right here, guys. So I don't know, mud, water, rocks, all sorts of shit's gonna go in there, okay, guys? And like the wires are all in there and everything. Yeah, man, it's tight, dude. Okay, I don't even know where that little block thing would go, you know? Okay, but there we go. All right, so there's the phase wires. The good thing about this, I don't know, this wire thing is in the way, but it acts as a scoop. All right, so a lot of air is going to go inside here and cool the motor down. All right, which is one thing I do like. What Hades Omega used to do when he was at the track, at the racetrack, the kart track, for doing the Supermoto, is I would take the skid plate out because I didn't really need it there because we're not riding over rocks or anything, you know, and I have to worry about bashing it up. So I would take that out so the motor would get a lot of cooling, but then I have to run the tire. I have to use this stand, all right. And to use this stand, I need the skid plate, all right, because it needs something to press on, you know, and yeah, So I had to run it with the skid plate because I had to use the tire warmers. The wheels have to be off the ground to use the tire warmers. Okay, anyway, I think we're ready to go fire it up. Let's go put the battery in. So there's the tilt sensor. All right. Hopefully we don't need. Hopefully the bike will run without it, you know. But it never worked before anyway. So okay, that's the DKD display right here. Let's go hook it up real quick. I haven't made the bracket for it yet, but let's hook it up to see if it works, and let's put the battery in. All right, here we go. I'm gonna try it out for the first time, guys. Let me go get the battery. Okay, we'll use the 32 amp hour battery. Okay, gonna plug the battery in. It's moment of truth, guys. All right, I'm gonna go plug the display in real quick without the mount. Okay, fits there nicely. And I'm gonna fire it up. Here we go. Hopefully my bike doesn't catch on fire or anything. There we go. Oh, the display went on. It's in kilometers. Okay, I'm gonna give it a little throttle. Oh, it runs. There you go. Oh, the warp drive is on. Okay. Oh, so there's a gear 1 and gear 2, right? When it's in gear 1, I guess it's... Check if the EP mode switch works. Oh, okay. So, when it's in, like, check out the display here, man. This thing is sweet, man. I don't know why he didn't just include this in the first place. This thing is awesome. All right, so if you look here, when I put it in sport mode, it goes into gear 4. All right. When I put it in EP mode, it goes to gear 2, and then when I turn the warp drive switch on, it goes to 1. That's kind of odd. I don't know how that all works, but hopefully we'll figure it out. Okay, I guess I have to configure this for miles per hour, and it has a battery gauge. Looks like it works. The battery's fully charged right now. It's got 93%. This is awesome, guys. This is the display I wanted all along. Look at it. It's sweet. It fits on there perfectly, man. This looks like a legit electric motorcycle now, guys. Okay, let's see if the tachometer works. No, it doesn't. Okay, I don't know what this is. I think this is current or something. That's what it looks like. But when it speeds up, the trip meter even works too. Freaking sweet, man. All right, there you go. It works, guys. I'm impressed so far. So far, so good. All right, everything looks like it works. Unfortunately, my horn doesn't work anymore. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go clean up all the wiring and stuff. It looks like everything fit on there nicely. It's running good. I don't know. We have to take it for a test ride first, but we got to make a mount for this. We're gonna mount it right here. We're gonna use L brackets. That'll be the next video. We'll be making a mount for this. Okay. But there we go. It installed. It's a pain in the ass to install, guys. I liked the ASI controller. It went on so much more nicely. So one thing I did is I turned the bolt around. All right, the bolt is going through this way instead of this way now. All right. I felt it was easier doing it the other way because you can you could stick one of those long Allen wrenches in there, the T-handle wrenches, and it'll go through there. Yeah, I have to get in here a whole bunch of times, guys. What else? Yeah, so there's the bolt sticking out there now. It barely clears my fender, like I mentioned. Oh yeah, it's good now. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, it touches just a teeny bit. I think that's okay. We'll just let it touch. Eventually it'll rub away. So I'll have to go clean up all this wires here. All right. What I might do is install a clamp like right here. A wire clamp right here. Okay, and then you can use this little skid plate here to tuck the wires in, which is nice. All right, and then I got to go wire the turn signals back in. I don't know which one is which anymore, so I'll have to figure it out. Yeah, so the last part is just tidying all this stuff up, and then we'll make the bracket for this. Okay, this thing is sweet. I like it. I don't know if there's going to be enough room to use this ram ball mount though. Okay, so yeah, it runs. I had to lose the horn. I don't think we can use the horn anymore. What's that horn? Right here. Okay, we might. I don't know. Maybe I can. I don't see a problem putting the horn back on. The problem is, wait. Can you put the horn back on? Yeah, you can put the horn back on. Yeah, it kind of hits the. Okay, well, if you want to put the horn, yeah, there's plenty of room for the horn. That'll fit, but the wiring. The problem is the wiring, dude. The wires for the horn are like all the way tucked. They're tucked up in there, and they're not long enough. They're not long enough to go around this plate here. Okay. What we could do, I know, if we could make the wires longer, we can make it go up here, run it around here, and then connect it to the horn. Maybe we'll just rotate the horn a little bit. Yeah, we'll mount the horn like this, and then we can have the wires come in from the top. if I want to. Okay, but I don't really use the horn all that much anyways. Plus this thing packs up with mud and then it doesn't work, so you have to like clean all the mud out of it. So save a couple pounds, Hades Omega, get rid of this freaking thing, man. Like I said, I don't use it, but I don't use it, but I should use it. All right, so especially it's helpful when you're racing, you know. I don't have to yell or holler, hey man, get out of the way. You know, you just honk them, you know. Okay, but yeah, it's on there. It's tight. It's tight, guys. It's solid. It's not going anywhere. All right. Yeah, it was so hard to get all this in here. Yeah, it is in there really tight, and you can see all the wires back there. I was able to keep that cover back there. Hopefully we'll never have to take it out. Okay, that's what I'm hoping, we never have to take it out. The tilt sensor is not on there anymore. Okay, I took the tilt sensor out so there's more room in the back. But it still runs without the tilt sensor. So. Okay, looks good. Thing kind of updates kind of slow, doesn't it? All right, we're gonna have to figure out how to program this. We gotta switch this to miles per hour, and I think that's it, just the miles per hour. I don't know what other stuff you can do with it, but. All right, well, I'm pretty stoked. There you go. It's installed. I'm gonna go clean up the wiring right now, and then you guys will see the final install before we install the display. Okay, but the display is just kind of just hanging out there. Okay. See you guys after I clean the wiring up. Okay, so another thing I kind of don't like is they made this wire way too long. The wire is way too... Look at how much extra wire I have in there. So I'm gonna either have to tuck it up behind the controller, because there's kind of some space behind the controller. I've already kind of used up all the space in there already. Maybe I could make it run all the way down there, right? But yeah, the wire is just way too long. So see, it's already snaking up behind the license, the plate here, the number plate, and it goes up here. Yeah, it's way too long. Like I said, that was a custom job. I could shorten it. I could just cut this and then put the wires back together and just get some electrical tape on it. I'd rather not, but it's way too long. I don't think they bothered to test it on the bike. But like I said, this is an option that they don't normally provide for a Suron. Okay, but it looks sweet. It fits good on the the flex bars. So it would look something like. It's going to look something like that when it's on there. Hopefully we can get it to mount on the left like that, and then I'll have room enough to use the ram ball mount. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of room on this handlebar. There's a lot going on with this handlebars, guys. Okay, so there you go. Cool deal. And then I gotta go wire up the turn signals again, but I think it looks pretty clean. The wiring there's a lot of wires coming out of it, but it's still pretty clean. So all right, okay, so here's what I got done with the wiring. So I added that clamp right there. All right, it's super tight, it's not gonna move, but I think it'll be fine. All right, and I tucked the rest of that wire inside here, the little skid plate. And then what I did, because this kind of was rubbing on here, I'll put some Gorilla Tape here. Okay, maybe I'll put some more, add a couple layers. So when this rubs up, if this rubs up on this like that, it's not gonna chafe. Okay, because this shit's sharp, man. Yeah, that's what I don't like. It's honestly, it looks, the whole controller and the mounts and everything, they look real rough. Okay, it's nice and everything. It's, you know, it's been well made and everything, fabricated and everything, but yeah, it looks rough. Even the heatsink looks rough. It's all cast and everything. It's not as pretty looking as the ASI controller was. Okay, but yeah, it should work. All right, it's a Chinese controller versus like a Canadian one. All right. So, but yeah, last thing to do is to attach these turn signal wires, but that doesn't have anything to do with the control. I also fixed the light. All right, there you go. The switch, the solder, it popped off. It popped off for the switch. So, but it works now. Awesome. Okay, turn signal still works. Nice. Okay. Cool deal. It's almost like a normal motorcycle, guys. It's freaking awesome. I love it. But I race it, you know. People, you know, people trip out when they realize, hey, this is a plated bike you're racing there. Yep, it sure is. Only one out there. Well, I'm sure there's a couple, but okay. So yeah, that's it. Pretty much it. Okay, I got the wiring all squared away. The last thing we have to do is install the display, and it does run without the display also, just in case you guys are wondering if I want to take the display out. No more regen throttle, sad. Boo-hoo. Right. I don't know if it has any kind of regen then, but yeah, so anyway, we'll figure it out. Okay, so controller is installed. It looks like it does kind of look like it belongs there, right? It is big, man. That thing is a lot bigger than it's definitely thicker than the ASI controller, and it's longer, right? It's probably about as long as a BAC 8000 is my guess. Okay, the BAC 8000 is pretty big, right? So that thing should be able to soak up a lot of heat, so that should be good. I think this will be good for racing. We'll see. All right, that's the Votal EM150, I believe. You know that they have different models of the EM150, so I'm not really sure. I'm not too savvy with these controllers. So Hayes Mega's gonna try it out for the first time, and I have to go clean up all this mess. All right. Okay, so that's it. It's we'll have to test drive it in another video, or test ride it. We'll have to try the 3 different modes out, and then that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple, twist and go. So in the next video, we'll go make some brackets for this guy. So look forward to that. I do like it, and then we're gonna have to program it. All right, I was looking how to program it online. There's a little sheet. You put a little password in, and you can change some stuff, settings and stuff. So hopefully we can get that squared away. Okay, but yeah, it's in kilometers too, so that's another thing. Okay, thanks for watching. There it is. That's the EMXRon. All right, the Electro & Co. EMXRon controller installed. All right, there you go. Some finishing notes. What time is it? It's midnight, guys. So I started installing this at like 9 o'clock. Let's say 9 o'clock. So it took me 3 hours to get it the way it was right now. Okay. I kind of didn't know how it mounts. I don't like how it mounts, guys. It's really up in there, really tight. Okay, so if you were gonna take it off, then yeah, let's hope you don't have to take it off in the future. All right, it's big. I don't think we're gonna. If we do replace the motor, all right, if you do swap the motor, I don't think you're gonna have to take the phase wires out. Okay, you could probably do it by just taking the skid plate out and then unbolting all this stuff, and then changing the motor. Okay, so I think if you were gonna change the motor out, it's still pretty easy. You don't have to take the controller out, because that's what I did with the ASI controller. I didn't even take the ASI controller out. I just unbolted it. Okay. Hades Mega did not use the block. All right, this yellow block here. Okay, but there is plenty of room to use it. Okay, but this one, I feel look at how open it is. See, is it okay if the phase wires get wet? I don't know, guys, but water and electricity don't mix. That will pretty easily fit in there. Okay, guys, so there's plenty of room for it, but it's much neater with this setup here. Okay, and yeah, so I don't know if in the future we'll be able to use the QS motor. I talked to Austin at Electro & Co. and he said that yeah, they're still trying to iron out the bugs on that. All right, it's not easy type of thing. So he recommended I use the Suron motor instead of the QS motor for now. Hopefully, he said maybe in the future I may be able to use it. All right, but that I would have to like reprogram some stuff or something, and I don't know how to do that with this controller. Okay, yeah, that's a good question. If I wanted to change any kind of settings on this controller, could I do that, and how do I do that? All right. I don't know if this has a Bluetooth interface, or you gotta hook up I think you have to hook up a PC to it, and then there's a program that you can use to change the settings. I heard that the program is in Chinese also, so yeah, it's in Chinese, but you can, from what I've seen, the options are like in English. So okay, yeah, so there it is. That's I think this was roughly $700, and this has the DKD display, and there it is. That's how it goes on there. Hazemaker did a lot of wiring work before it. All right, so that I'm not going to count that into the install time. I would say it would take you like about 4 hours to install. Maybe if I had to do it again, probably less. Okay, it mounts on the horn where the horn used to be. Okay, you could I might be able to still use the horn. There's still space in here, but maybe we'll just not put it back. I don't really use the horn all that much, but it would be nice to have the horn. Okay, I think a horn is a great thing to have on an electric bike. Yeah, and then so these brackets are really tight. I'm pretty sure they bent a little bit when I tightened them. Trying to get the tool, like a wrench, in here is very difficult, man. It is really tight fit. I had to kind of like, I bent it sideways a little bit. It was like kind of cockeyed when I was tightening it, and then I had to just kind of pry it off of there, and it popped off. So that's the end of the install. Yeah, just be prepared to take all this apart. This guy, the back, and then to put the bolt in there. Yeah, it's really hard, guys, because you have to put it through there, and there's a lot of stuff in here, guys. And I had to get it through the hole in there. That was hard too, man. Yeah, it did not. It's not a very easy install, guys. It's not as hard. It's just kind of annoying. That's what I say. Okay, it does fit with the fender. All right, my DRZ fender. You want to make sure that fender is, when you install a fender on this, make sure it's as far forward as possible. All right, I think that's what I did. It kind of rubs up there a little bit, but that's fine. As long as it doesn't rub. Like, as long as it doesn't stop the steering, I don't care. Okay, so, yeah, so there's gonna be no horn for now. All right, that's fine. All right, so I took the horn, and the tilt sensor is gone. All right, it still works without the tilt sensor, so that's fine. It never worked before anyways. It'd be nice to get rid of this thing. It's, I don't know, it weighs a few pounds. Yeah, let's go do a little weight reduction here. Okay, so let's go see how much weight reduction we're getting here. So this cowl, all right, we couldn't put this cowl back in because this mounts to the bracket. All right, maybe you might be able to get it to fit on there. That's a good question. I like the look of it, the cowl, you know, but it's supposed to go like here, yeah. No, it's not gonna fit, because if you had to put a bolt in there, it would hit the controller. So this isn't going back on. Okay, guys. So the cowl, 1.2 ounces. All right, we didn't really save that much weight with that. The horn, 5 ounces with the horn. Okay, so the horn is like 4 ounces, and then the tilt sensor, so almost a pound, 9.4 ounces. Okay, that's how much weight we saved. Not a whole lot. Okay, by taking that stuff off, but there's a lot less clutter without this. All right, we could probably put this back on, but I would have to extend the wires for it. And like I said, this thing packs up with mud all the time, and it stops working. So then you have to clean it, and then you can't put this back on because it works with the stock brackets. Okay, so there we go. EMXRon controller installed. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we'll be installing the mounts for the DKD display. Okay, so one thing I did not like about this install is that there is no manual, no documentation at all. All right, so literally I have to go on the website, look at where, you know, the page where you're supposed to buy the controller, and look at the pictures of it installed on the bike to figure out how it installs. Okay. All right. Yeah, so before you put the controller on there, you got to put these brackets on. Okay, and then you get. I installed it with this. This was already on here, and then I just kind of moved it up there. I had to remove the fender to make it a little easier to install. You have to remove the horn also, and then it helps if you remove this bracket for the brake line. All right. You can put it back, but it helps if you take it out. All right, those are some tips installing this guy. All right, and then like I said, I added a clamp right here. All right, there's plenty of room to add a clamp there.
Okay, and it's pretty nice. You can tuck all the wires in here already. If also, you could probably do that on the other side too. So, but I don't have any wires coming off the right side of the bike. All the wires come off the left side of my bike. Okay, I know it looks kind of nasty. It's okay. Don't worry about haze, Mega. I know. I wish it was like, maybe I should just not have all those wires sticking out of there, man. Maybe I don't need turn signals. Maybe I don't need a headlight, you know. But sometimes this bike, I do multiple things with it. All right, it's not just a motocross bike. It's not just a trail bike. It's not just a supermoto bike. It's not just a DoorDash bike. DoorDash around the city type of bike, you know. It does everything. Okay, guys. All right, so okay, yeah, so yeah, there it is. But I turned the key and it ran, so awesome. All right, here's what we got.